Hey, good morning everyone. We're going to start today the drama, The Tempest. Tempest is a play written by William Shakespeare. We're going to discuss some little parts related to The Tempest, and we're going to make something like a summary or something like that for The Tempest. Okay, let's start. We're going to start with the setting, and as many of you know, that setting means the place and the time of the whatever literary text is made. So our setting for The Tempest is an island where only two people live, who are Prospero and Miranda, our main characters of The Tempest. And the time it starts at a storm raging far out at sea, a very, very strong tempest. And tempest means a storm, okay? That's the start. A lightning is flashing and thunder is crashing. Now we're going to talk about the characters. We have Prospero, Miranda, Errol, Caliban, Alonso, Sebastian, Ferdinand, Antonio, and Gonzalo. Prospero is an enchanter or a magician, and he is the real Duke of Milan. Miranda is Prospero's daughter. Errol is a spirit who serves Prospero, and Caliban is a monster slave. Actually, Caliban is a half human being. He is a half human being and a half monster. Okay, Caliban is the son of a witch called Sycorax, and she is an evil witch. And we have Alonso. He is the king of Naples. Sebastian, the king of Naples' brother. Ferdinand, he is the prince of Naples, which means that he is the son of Alonso. Antonio, Prospero's brother. Gonzalo, an elderly advisor to Antonio. Let's start with a summary of what happened in The Tempest. First, Alonso, Ferdinand, Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo are on a ship which is wrecked in a storm, which is our Tempest, and all the passengers and the crew are thrown into the sea. Okay? Alonso believes that his son is dead, and Ferdinand thinks that he is the only survivor. Actually, because Alonso and the rest of the people were separate and divided with a specific action or a supernatural power that happened, which made the Tempest. And Alonso is separate from his son Ferdinand, so every one of them thinks that he is the only survivor, and the other actually is dead. Okay, that's the part of the ship. And at the time, Prospero and Miranda were on the shore watching out the tempest, or watching out what happened. And after the shipwreck, Miranda felt that her father is responsible for the storm. So she actually asked him whether he has a part in that or not. And he said yes, and started to remind her of whatever happened in the past, whether she remembers something or not from the past, and she answered no. So he started telling her what happened in the past. Actually, Prospero was the Duke of Milan, and Miranda was the princess. She was 3 years old then. At the time, Prospero was very fond of reading and studying magic books, to the point that he left all the duties of his kingdom or the dukedom to his brother Antonio, and he didn't ever share in the responsibilities. So that action made Antonio thinks that he can get rid of his brother, and he actually put him and his daughter on a ship or a small boat and left them without food or clothes or water or whatever, any means that would help them, and he left them into the middle of the sea to die. But actually, Gonzalo, we mentioned that person before, helped them secretly, by secretly putting some food, drink, clothes, oars, and some of the magic books for Prospero. And actually that helped them a lot because if Gonzalo wasn't there to help them, they would actually be dead. Okay, so he is reminding her of these actions, and he is telling her that now, yes, he did that storm or that tempest, he raised that tempest to take revenge from his enemies. Okay, actually Antonio made his plan, his evil plan, by the help of Alonso, the king of Naples. So that's why Prospero decided to punish them all. After that, Ariel came back telling Prospero. Ariel, if you remember, is the spirit that's helping Prospero. Came back telling Prospero what happened in the storm and where are the party, the group of people right now. He told him that everyone is separate and everyone in a different place. Actually, Ariel is helping Prospero, and or let's say that he is, it is in his service, because when Prospero back in time came to this island, he found out that some spirits are actually imprisoned in pine trees. When he asked, or when he discovered why, he found out that Sycorax, an evil witch, asked these, actually she was the queen or the leader of that island, and she asked the spirits, by using magic, to do some evil stuff. The spirits which refused to do that evil deeds, she imprisoned them in the pine trees. Ariel was one of them. And when Prospero freed Ariel, Ariel offered 12 years of service to Prospero as a thank you gift. Okay? When Ariel started telling Prospero what happened to the people in the Tempest, and so Prospero go on asking him much more work to do. So Ariel got angry and moody when Prospero told it that there was much work to be done. But Prospero reminded Ariel of the deal of the 12 years service, and reminded him, or reminded it, that there is still 2 days until the 12 years are finished. Then he asked Ariel to go and bring Ferdinand. On its way to bring Ferdinand, on Ariel's way to bring Ferdinand, it stopped by Caliban, the son of Sycorax, and started tormenting him, started annoying him, because actually Caliban wasn't a very good being. Okay, now let's talk about Prospero and Miranda. Prospero and Miranda went to visit Caliban, for Prospero wanted to give him more work to do as a punishment for his evil attitude towards him and his daughter, because actually back in time Prospero dealt with Caliban in a good way, and Miranda started teaching him how to speak, how to use language. And instead of thanking them, he started using language to curse them, to say bad words at them. And he started frightening Miranda and doing bad things. So that's why Prospero is now punishing him. Let's move to another part. By these actions, while these actions were happening, Ferdinand, the son of Alonso, saw Miranda and fell in love with her from the first sight. And actually Miranda is astonished from the sight of Ferdinand, as she had never seen any human being before except her father and Caliban, the half-human being, which is not considered a human being actually. So she was astonished from the sight of that person. She didn't ever, or she don't remember seeing any people before. When Prospero knew that Ferdinand fell in love with Miranda, and actually Miranda is the same, he wanted to test Ferdinand. So he started using him to do some hard work and check whether he loves his daughter or he was lying on her, or he was just saying that. Okay, so he made that hard work for him as a test to check if he fulfilled them, so he actually loves her. Okay? On the other part of the island, Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, and Gonzalo were looking for Ferdinand. They thought that he is drowned in the storm, but they actually started to look for him. Maybe they would find him. Alonso and Gonzalo suddenly fell asleep as they heard strange music. Actually, the presence of the music in our story or in our play is mainly related to magic, and magic is related to Prospero. Okay, so actually Prospero made that strange music. Meanwhile, when they fell asleep, Antonio and Sebastian planned to kill Alonso and Gonzalo so that Sebastian can be the king of Naples instead of his brother, as they thought that Ferdinand is dead, and actually the daughter of the king of Naples is ruling another place, and she can't rule two places at the same time. Music happened again actually when Antonio and Sebastian were planning. So suddenly Alonso and Gonzalo woke up and found that the other two holding swords. When they asked them, why are you holding swords like that? They said that they heard roaring of lions. They were lying actually. Okay, let's move to another part. Miranda went to Ferdinand as he was doing the hard tasks Prospero asked him to fulfill, and she asked him to have a rest, but he refused, saying, I will keep my promise to your father. She asked him to help him in his work so they can divide the work on both of them, and still he refused. As Prospero overheard what Ferdinand told Miranda, he released Ferdinand and gave his blessing to their marriage and said that, yes, I found out that you are a trustworthy person and I can give you my daughter as a reward or something like that. That's the part related to Miranda and Ferdinand. Let's go back to the party, the group. Prospero sent shapes that were carrying a table covered in food and drink and invited the party to eat. He sent shapes of spirits that has the masks or the shapes of bears, wolves, and some animals, carrying a laden table full with food and drink, and invited them to come and eat. When they were about to come and eat, actually because they were very hungry, suddenly a huge ugly bird landed on the table as they were about to eat. That bird was Errol, in disguise as Prospero sent it to torture and punish Alonso, Antonio, and Sebastian. Okay? They drew their swords in order to kill the ugly bird, as it explains for them why everything has vanished, why everything on the table was disappeared, saying that you are three men of sin and you are here to be punished for what they have done to Prospero and his daughter. And from that moment, Errol started doing the punishment. He divided them, everyone was on his own, and held them in separate spells as a punishment. Spells is some magical action that causes punishment or causes some not good things. Okay? Finally, after that whole punishment thing, Errol came back to Prospero saying that let's have mercy on them. I feel sorry for them, as they say that they are sorry for what happened before, and they are pretending to give you everything that happened from actually the melon, the dukedom, and they are sorry for what happened before. At first, Prospero thought that they may be pretending, so he asked Earl, and Earl told him, no, I think that they are not pretending. So finally, Prospero forgave his brother and prepared to return to Milan to resume his dukedom. So the ending, that's the last thing that happened in the whole play. Finally, Prospero forgave his brother and prepared to return to Milan to resume his dukedom. Miranda and Ferdinand were given the approval for their marriage from Prospero and Alonso. Errol is set free because he has finished the 2 days service which were left from the 12 years service. The sailors who were on the ship arrived and announced that the ship hadn't been wrecked after all, and there is a final celebration of their reunion. That's the whole play in summary. What's really important in the whole story or the whole play is the theme of revenge. Everything that happened in The Tempest wasn't to be happened if there wasn't revenge, and actually betrayal also. Okay? I guess that this is the last thing. I hope that you now understand everything, and if there is something not clear, you can send us anything on the site and we will help you. Thank you. Bye.